Hello everyone, it's the GenGX, and today we're taking a look at the new Star Wars game trailer that just dropped. Star Wars Outlaws gameplay was first revealed almost some months ago, and we now know that it will be released on August 30th this year on PC, PS5, Xbox Series S, and X. It's a single-player third-person adventure game set in an open-world Star Wars universe, and the story is canon too. It's been developed by Ubisoft studio Massive Entertainment, based out of Sweden, and runs on the Snowdrop engine. And it's a gorgeous-looking engine that you may be familiar with if you've played The Division or the more recent Avatar Frontiers of Pandora game. Now, Outlaws has been pitched as the first true open-world Star Wars RPG, and it's set between the events of Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. In Star Wars Outlaw, you play as a character called Kives, who is seeking freedom and the means to start a new life. Kay's got herself into a bit of a situation and found herself a bounty on her head. She's looking for work, and that's what leads her to the underground world. You're going to have to take on various high-stake missions, including stealing valuable goods and infiltrating secret locations. Taking place at a time when the Galactic Empire relentlessly pursues the final defeat of the Rebel Alliance, and that period the criminal underworld is thriving, and Kives must pull off one of the greatest heists the Outer Rim has ever seen. That's the setup for the story, and you're going to be coming face to face with the galaxy's crime syndicates here, maybe showing off a different face of the Star Wars universe while trying to survive and come out on the other side. During the game, you cross paths with the Pikes, the Huts, the new syndicate that's been crafted especially for this game by Massive and Lucasfilm, called the Aega Clan. You're not going to be on your own though. You've got a sidekick, Nix. Nix is a mirror, a rare and exotic creature, and while he looks cute, he can be vicious when needed. He's not just there for the ride though. You can use him to distract guards, activate switches and doors, and he can even grab weapons, blasters and ammo for you, bringing it back to K. He can help you with puzzles too. Think Tales of Requiem with Hugo or Lucas or God of War. Also, he can attack enemies as well. Traveling is a big part of the game too, and you're going to get to explore distinct planets with bustling cities, some that will be familiar to you, but also many that won't. For example, areas of Tatooine and Mos Eisley that you've never seen before. There's a new location in the game too, crafted by Massive and Lucasfilms, called Tashara. It's been built from ground up to almost be a beating heart of the underworld, and the developers traveled to Tanzania for a reference. So you're going to see windswept plains, veins of tambourine, and you're going to get a feeling of vast wilderness. Of course, in the trailer we do see some kind of a speeder bike that will allow you to get around large areas of the game when you're on a planet. The main city of Tashara is called Miran, which is a huge vibrant place carved out of rock by the wind, and they did show this off in the Star Wars Outlaws behind the scenes video they released. But it's Tashara that we see in the original main gameplay walkthrough. One of the goals Massive said they had when making these worlds that you travel to is that they wanted them to feel alive and bustling. And as it happens, that's something that Massive is known for. They've always been able to create very impressive large open worlds, and so I'm quite excited to see what they can do in this large-scale Star Wars universe. Don't worry though, you're sure to see locations that you know as well, as I mentioned, such as Tatooine, among others. But expect different points of interest that you haven't seen before. Each planet brings new adventures and unique challenges, and of course, rewards if you're willing to take the risk. Also in this game, you have a ship called the Trailblazer. You use it to fly to other planets when you're not dogfighting or fighting against the Empire and other enemies. One of the goals Massive had was to have a seamless experience between going on foot to your speeder and then jumping in your ship and going off planet. That's something that I think can make a big difference, making the player feel really connected to the space that they are in. When you get into space, of course, we've seen it in trailers here, you've got combat, you've got dogfighting, and as you can imagine, the Empire is going to be on your back from time to time, and there's going to be plenty of surprises when you're flying around in your ship. Being an outlaw, you're going to need weapons, and while we do not know much about this, K is pretty handy with the blaster. That is what the gameplay is centered around. Even still, as you move through the game, your blaster will evolve just as you do, and you find it to be a central and versatile tool even outside of combat. The blaster can be upgraded with modules that you discover in the world. We saw one of them in the gameplay called Focus, and that's a module that allows K to fire multiple shots in a close grouping and is great against shields. I'm sure there will be many other blaster modes and upgrades in here as well. Ultimately though, reputation is what matters in Star Wars Outlaws, and we are nothing without a reputation. You have a rep with each of the syndicates in the game, but if you take a job that hurts a specific syndicate, that could reduce your reputation with them, enough that you only get limited opportunities through them going forward, and completing missions will grant K either credits or priceless artifacts. The story of the game isn't said to be all black and white, though, because Massive themselves have said that the underworld isn't that straightforward and that they wanted to make a game to reflect that. As such, K will have various options and decisions to make. We see in the gameplay that K can choose to bribe an Imperial officer that she's meeting or choose not to. In the footage, she decides against it, and this has implications. There are said to be no right or wrong answers here, just the way to which you path through the game. This works together with the wanted system, which is ever present in the game. If you caught or you challenge the Empire, and this could be a choice that you've made in the past, like in the gameplay we saw, you're going to increase that wanted level if you carry on making decisions that annoy the Empire. That level will rise to the point that the Empire will throw a huge amount of resources in your direction to try and catch you or take you out. But it's said that there will always be a way to either de-escalate this or evade your pursuers entirely. Think about GTA stars. Finally, from the gameplay itself that we've seen so far, and there is a fair bit out there already, it looks like the gameplay is very much like a traditional third-person action game where you've got stealth options when approaching situations, or you can go all-out combat using all your tools to your advantage, as well as fully utilizing Nyx as a companion in the best way to get through combat situations, whether that's for stealth or going loud. And we've seen parkour elements too, stealth attacks that look pretty brutal, and we've seen vehicle combat on speeders, which makes sense when you think about how seamless Massive wants this experience to be. Outlaws, I think, is shaping up to be an interesting Star Wars game. It's open world, which is cool, and we're also getting to play as a character. Seems like she errs more on the bad side, getting involved with a criminal underworld, perhaps having some questionable ethics. That in itself, I feel, gives new, exciting opportunities or interesting gameplay. Please do let me know your thoughts on Star Wars Outlaws down in the comments below. I'd love to know what you think about this one. If you're interested in checking out the game for yourself, it is linked down in the description below. It releases on August 30th worldwide, and if you get the Gold or Ultimate Edition, you can play the game early on August 27th. Check out the next video for other games worth playing in the meantime. Thanks for stopping by. Until next time, stay awesome!